Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to the Coach Matthew Mitchell Show. So glad you joined us. I'm always thrilled when you make some time in your day to be with us on the Coach Matthew Mitchell Show. Excited today to talk about how I look at leadership in life. And I want to introduce to you today 5 areas that I really pay attention to in life, because I want to be able to show up as a leader, and I want to be ready to roll and ready to serve the people I'm interacting with to my fullest potential. I want to give them everything that I have. If I have a speech that I need to make, if I'm delivering a keynote speech, I want to give that audience as the best effort that I can possibly give them. I have a speech coming up real soon, a keynote speech, and we're going to be talking about preparation and a process of preparation and how preparation impacts your leadership. And so I want to give them the very, very best I can give them that day. I want to serve them well. I want them leaving with at least one thing that makes them think about how they can improve. If I am in a workshop and I'm spending a day or a half day with a business and a company's executive team or sales team, I want to give them everything I have. I want to be fully present, prepared, energetic, and I want them equipped with some tools to go out and move forward and either increase their sales volume, increase the bottom line, increase their team chemistry, whatever the goal may be. And if I also write books now, and I have enjoyed that. My first book, Winning Tools, came out last summer. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see a copy of the book right there. But Winning Tools, and really enjoyed this book, 3 leadership principles that build purpose, respect, and success. And so this is a Wall Street Journal bestseller. And I enjoy writing. I really enjoy writing. And when I'm writing, I want to give my greatest effort to write content that is going to make you think, that's going to help you improve, that's going to help you increase your ability to lead yourself and lead others. And so no matter what I'm doing professionally, I want to show up with a full tank ready to go. And in order for me to do that professionally, I have to start with leading myself. And so today we're going to talk about 5 areas that I pay attention to in my personal leadership. Because that's the one fallacy out there that some people will try to convince themselves, well, I'm not a leader. Well, at the very least, you may not lead a huge organization or have a team or have a bunch of people that are answering to you, but at the very, very least, you are leading yourself. And that's the most important person you will ever lead. And so the way I look at that is in 5 areas, and I want to go over that with you today. The first part that I have to pay attention to is my spirit. So my spiritual life is very important to me. I am a person of deep faith, and I am not a theologian or a pastor, and so I'm not going to preach to you on this subject, but I'm just going to tell you that it's very important for me to pay attention to my spirit, that spark of the divine that I believe exists in every person. And I feel it all the time, and I see it all the time in life and in nature, and I have that spark of the divine. I know that God is very real to me, and so my spiritual life, I have to start there. That's extremely important to me. And so I have to make a priority to carve out time during my day, during my week, to pay attention to that part of my life. Because when my spiritual life is strong, and when I am making investments in my spiritual life, that sets a foundation for everything else to be rock solid. Does not mean that everything's going to go my way. It does not mean everything that life is ever going to be perfect and just smoothed out. But what it does, it strengthens me foundationally to be able to navigate the other four parts of my life. And so I do that through quiet time, through prayer, through reading scripture. No matter how you approach that and how you navigate the world there, I think my personal leadership has to be grounded by paying attention and feeding and nourishing my spirit with prioritizing time, engaging content that's going to help me increase my faith and my knowledge of my spirit. And so that is area number one that I think a leader should pay attention to. So then the next part of life that I have to pay attention to are my emotions. And this impacts every relationship that I have. My emotional well-being, my emotional strength, my emotional functionality, functioning emotions instead of dysfunctional behavior and emotions, approaching my emotions and dealing with those is very, very important. And what I want to share with you is really, it's conversations that we have with ourselves that can indicate where we are emotionally. And so for a very long time, I was having success professionally as a college basketball coach. Coached my last 13 seasons. I was a college basketball coach for 21 seasons. The last 13, I was the head women's basketball coach at the University of Kentucky, and we were very successful, but I was not handling my emotions well at all. And so I think professional success, or let's say wins and losses, we won 7 out of every 10 games we played. We were wildly successful, championship team, championship level team for over a decade. And so there were a lot of years that we were getting results. The bottom line looked good, and my emotions were not. And so a few years back, it's probably about 8 years back, I really started thinking about seriously my emotional well-being and taking care of my emotions. And one emotion that I really had a hard time with was anger. And I didn't really even process or realize how anger was leaking out in different ways in my life. It was happening with my family. It was happening with my work, with my team, with my coworkers. And so I was very fortunate to have one of my mentors for over 25 years now, Coach Lynn Dunn. She's the general manager of the Indiana Fever Women's National Basketball Association team there in Indianapolis. And she came out of retirement during a time when I needed her and came on my staff, sat on the bench, coached with me for 2 years. And it was an unbelievable experience because she was the person who had the wisdom and cared enough and loved me enough to confront me and say, listen, your anger is causing a problem. And if you and I were ever to get into a social situation, I can have a lot of fun, and I can be a lot of fun, and I can bring a lot of fun energy and love to joke and laugh and just enjoy life a lot. And so on the outside, I'm thinking, I'm a fun-loving guy. What in the world is she talking about? But she really confronted me about how my anger was holding me back. And it was emotions that I was not dealing with effectively. And so that's sent me on a journey to discover how could I deal with that, and how could I move from a dysfunctional emotional situation as a leader into functional behavior. And so I read a book that was really, really powerful on dealing with anger by Gary Chapman. It was really, really eye-opening. Learned a lot there. I started seeing a licensed clinical social worker who taught me a tremendous amount. Her name's Lynn Motley, and she practices here in Lexington, and I had several sessions with her, and she taught me a tremendous amount. And our emotions are a lot like our physical body. So if we have a damaged ankle and it swells up on us and it's causing us pain and we can't walk correctly, well, most of us are going to put that in a bucket of ice, get it wrapped up, start moving it around, start doing whatever the doctor tells us to do. And we are going to pay attention to healing that ankle. And so that's the same thing with our emotions. Our emotions can heal. We can heal emotions that are dysfunctional, and we can get them functioning at a high level, just like that sprained ankle is not functioning well. It's dysfunctional. We can do things and we can treat it to get it back to functioning at a very high level. And so as my leadership evolves and grows, and hopefully each and every day I'm strengthening that and getting better and learning more, I have to pay attention to my emotional health. It's so important for me as I move through my leadership journey. And there's no possibility that I can serve my family well, the people that I work with, my clients, if I am in an emotionally dysfunctional state day after day. I might can service them at a level that gets the job done, but I'll never, ever, I'm talking about me, ever reach my leadership potential if I don't pay attention to that. And so as a leader, those first two, paying attention to my spirit, paying attention to my emotional well-being, that is very, very important to the people around me. So that's the second thing that I want to pay attention to. The third thing is my physical health. And so it's very important, I believe, for us as leaders. We are pulled in so many different directions. And there always exists this opportunity to work more. If you are a high achiever like I am, and you have high aspirations like I am, and you're like the businesses and the teams that I work with now, the job just doesn't seem like it's ever done. The job is always there, and there's always something to do. And so many times I see people, and I've done this before in my career, without question I've done this, is that I've let the job being there derail me and keep me from taking care of what's so important, and that's my health. Because here's the thing, if we're not healthy and we can't show up, we can't serve our people, we can't serve our family, we can't serve our clients, our customers. And so that's an area that I want to pay attention. So that's my nutrition. I have to be very intentional. Listen, there's nobody out there watching this or listening to this now that loves food more than I do. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh my goodness. I mean, I could just go down the list. Big Mac, Dave's double cheeseburger. What I really love is a Dairy Queen. What do they call that? Flamin' Hot Burger, something that is something else. That double cheeseburger, Flamin' Hot cheeseburger at Dairy Queen. a little Blizzard action with Heath and Reese's peanut butter cup. That is really, really speaking to my heart right now. I'm in love with those things. Love it. Go to a big steakhouse, have a big porterhouse. I always want to order and do order the macaroni and cheese. I don't usually go for the grilled asparagus and the healthy salad. I love the mac and cheese, anything with cheese on it. But nice bottle of red wine. That's not really low in calories. And so, but my point is, I love food, love it. So I have to keep my body strong and healthy. I have to pay attention to my nutrition. I have to prepare. I have to make a plan. Because if I don't, that's an area of my life where I can perform at a level that is not going to be my best and not going to allow me to be my best. And so taking the time to give thought about what you're fueling your body with, taking the time, another thing that we all struggle with as leaders and high aspirational leaders is sleep. I think that's can be elusive for all of us. And I really admire the people who don't need to sleep much, and they're out there. You may be one of them. It really, I'm amazed. There's so many of these people that don't need a lot of sleep, and I don't need a lot, but I need enough. And I think we all need to pay attention to that. That's real personal, but that's something as a leader that I know if I don't get enough rest and I'm worn down, then I'm not going to serve. I'm not going to be physically able to serve people the way I need to if I'm worn down. And then moving your body, exercise, finding a way to stay strong. I'm so fortunate that early in life I got around some people professionally that taught me how important it was to start moving. And so I've been moving in one way or another for the last 25 years, and it's paid off big. It's paid off big. And I'm 53, and I feel great. And I feel like I'm actually in the prime of my life. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that would not say that. They would think that you'd be younger. But I'm telling you, I think this is a time in my life where I can impact people more than I have at any other point in my life. And so I'm grateful for my body. I'm grateful that I can move. And I would tell you that I've had enough times of dormancy over the last 25 years to be engaged with what it feels like to not be able to show up as your best physically, that I'm just encouraging every person, every leader, and remember, you're leading yourself at the very minimum. So if you're listening to this, you are a leader. Pay attention to your body and take care of your body and make that part of your leadership, because if you can't show up, if you're run down and depleted, you cannot produce what you need to help people and serve people. And so that's the third area, your physical world that you live in your body. So then we get to the fourth area, and that is our profession or our vocation, what we are doing productively in the world. And so much of that is a function of our competency. So I feel fortunate that I learned where I could be effective professionally, because I started out, and you may have had this thought too, or you may still have this thought, but I started out my professional life focused on one thing, and that was making money. I wanted to make money, and I wanted to make a lot of money, and I wanted to make it very fast as a young man, very fast. Get rich quick, that was music to my ears. And everybody said, you can't get rich quick. And I said, well, I'll show you. I'll show you how to get rich quick. And I got broke real quick. Oh, my gosh. In trying to get rich quick, I became broke quick. And I'll have to share that with you. That'd be a whole other podcast, Coach Matthew Mitchell show, talking about my brokenness. And so I got broke real quick. I got miserable real quick because I was trying to make money in a field where I had no giftedness. So I started college majoring in accounting because I had an influential person tell me that tax attorneys, that's what I needed to be. They made the most money. And so I needed to get an accounting degree, and then I needed to go to law school and be a tax attorney, and I'd be rolling in the dough. Well, the problem that I ran into very quickly is that I was no good at accounting. I couldn't. I can barely to this day add. I add decently. Multiplication's hard for me. Division, I can't do. Algebra, calculus, none of that ever worked. No good. Not interested. Not gifted, don't have a mathematical type of mind. I strive to get better in that because there's places in life and in my business now where math is important. But if I were to devoted my life to accounting and math day after day, I would not have had success because there's no giftedness. So I flunked out of accounting, or did I make a D? I guess I didn't make an F. I think I made a D in accounting. But anyway, I got out of accounting. So then I had to figure out how can I make some money. So then I got into business. And I started looking around, and the guys that I knew that made the most money were building apartment complexes, office buildings, houses. They were in construction. So I said, well, that's what I'll do. I'll get into construction, and I'll make a lot of money. Well, another mistake is actually some math in construction. You have to be able to measure. You have to be able to sort of see the angles. You have to create angles. And again, no giftedness whatsoever. The proudest thing that I did in my construction career. I built about a 6-foot fence that hid. My mom and dad had moved into this, had gotten this rental house, and so I built this little fence that hid the air conditioning unit that my mom said would make the house look better. And I should ride by there and look at that sometime. That was probably one of my greatest achievements. I do think that I nailed down the flooring on an attic of we had these houses we were building one time. I think I did complete the floor of an attic. I was able to nail at least, I think. But those were sort of the highlights of my construction career. Not a lot happening. So I am at my high school on a Friday night after a football game. I had just been playing on that field a few years before, and I love my school and I love my coach. Coach Farrell Rigby was my basketball coach and was the principal of the high school, and he changed my life one night. I was helping him after the game. We were cleaning up the stadium. Everybody had left. He was such a hard-working guy, still is a hard-working guy. He's retired now, but just a great, great man. And so we were cleaning up, and I was lamenting the fact that I was just miserable. I was drifting. I was no good at construction. My boss wasn't very happy with me. It was just a tough time. And he said, you know what? I always thought you'd be a great coach. Or I think he said, I always thought you'd make a good coach. And he said, well, why don't you just come back and help me this year and see if you like it and see what goes from there. And so I started after work going to my high school and helping him out with the boys' high school basketball team. That was 1994, 95. And I just fell in love. I'd always loved basketball. I was a good athlete and played on all the teams. We were a little bitty town there in Louisville, Mississippi. Played football, basketball, baseball, ran track. Just did it all and loved it. Loved every season. But basketball, I had a really deep love for basketball. I would just spend hours and hours shooting and trying to jump higher so I could dunk, and trying to increase my shooting range so I could shoot it from really deep, and just spent hours and hours and hours doing it. Loved it. Loved basketball. So the minute I stepped on the court and started coaching, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no competency, but I had giftedness. I had giftedness for energy, and to be able to talk, and to be able to get the players' attention, and so I had some giftedness there. And so it set me on a journey to coach athletics. And so with that giftedness, then I needed to start increasing my competency. I needed to become a competent professional. And so to this day, so I've been doing that forever. I've tried to learn as much as I could about the game of basketball, the strategies of basketball, coaching basketball. Then I had to dive into people's psyche, how to reach different personalities, how people possess different personalities, because the teams were different every year. The seniors were leaving, the freshmen were coming in. So I had to create competency around leading people and knowing people and trying to understand how we work together as humans. So that led me on a course to become competent in teamwork. So I had to do that. Then I get this job at Kentucky where I have to have a TV show and 16 episodes every season. I had to produce a TV show. I had to start speaking in public. I had to start doing TV commercials, all of these things. And so I started trying to create some competency around these things that I had to do in my job. And so the fourth part of our life as leaders that I think is so important is, what are we doing with our mind, our intellect, to increase our competencies, to increase our knowledge on our industry, because it is certainly dynamic. It's been so much fun as I've made this move from coaching athletics to coaching in the corporate world, to learn new competencies about coaching. And so the fourth part of my life and my leadership that I must pay attention to is engaging my mind, my intellect on learning new things, being curious about new methods, being focused in my mind on what I'm built on, what principles I'm built on. So honesty, hard work, discipline, that's the winning tools. That's my principles. Those are unshakable. Those never change. But think about how methods do change. Think about how the world's changed since the first day I started coaching in 1994, and think about the world in 2024. So honesty, hard work, and discipline, that worked in 1994, still works in 2024. But I need a whole different set of competencies to do the job I was doing in 1994 that I'm doing in 2024. So my point being is that I need to pay attention to my professional life, and that's my mind, my intellect, staying close to where I'm gifted, building competencies, strengthening competencies day after day. And so for me, that is consuming the right content. I try to read everything that I can on subjects that I'm teaching and that I'm trying to help people grow in. I want to get in rooms where people know more than I do. I was so fortunate the other day. One of my mentors and great friends who has been so impactful in my life, Dr. John Maxwell, one of the greatest leaders on this planet. We were on the phone for 40 minutes the other day, and what he was telling me about business and what I'm trying to accomplish right now was just mind blowing. Just 3 or 4 things there that strengthened my competency and my ability to go out and serve you and my clients and the companies that I'm working with. And so that conversation, we need to find people like that. And I just love going to coffee, going to lunch, grabbing a quick phone conversation, whatever I can do. I think we need to find those people that feed us and feed our intellect and help us be a better professional. And then I think there's certainly some pitfalls in social media that can kind of get you down a rabbit hole, and you're, watching some cat videos or something on Facebook, or, I've really never done that, but that's a thing. I think there's a lot of cat videos for some reason. I don't know if the cats are like playing with toys or something or what they're doing, but you can get on all these videos, you can watch some, a bunch of stuff that doesn't create any competency. But there are some people that are just doing amazing things out there, especially LinkedIn. I think for a professional right now, I've gained so much from LinkedIn. There are some really, really sharp people who are serving the business community and giving so much that it can make a move forward for us. And so, when we engage the right content and we are curious learners, that's going to improve our competencies. That's going to improve us as a professional. So that's the 4th area of life that I really pay attention to and want to move forward in. And so now we come to the 5th area, which I think is extremely important. Also, all 5 areas are important. And so this is what I would call my leisure time, my hobbies, my activities, my downtime, when I'm not focused on my, responsibilities. And we have a lot of responsibilities in life with our families, with our friends, with our jobs, our relationships. All these things are important, but we do need some time. I need some time as a high aspirational, high level leader. I need some time to unwind and to have some fun and to bring some joy through activity. I get a lot of joy out of my work. I get a tremendous amount of joy from my family. I get a tremendous amount of joy from friends and relationships and different things. But there's some joy also out there in our leisure time. And there are certainly seasons in our life and rhythm in our life where there may not be a lot of time for this. We're really in an intense period here in the business, and so I have to be intentional about planning some time to take care of me by having some fun, and I think as leaders that helps us stay sharp, keep our tank full, and actually taking a little time off to have some fun will actually make us more productive when it's time to show back up, and it's showtime, and it's time to produce, and it's time to execute. I really believe these times of leisure and fun make us better. So for me, I love to go out and play 9 holes of golf or preferably 18 holes of golf and just take an afternoon or a morning and get out there and play golf with some friends and just really try to empty my mind of all the responsibilities that I have and enjoy being outside, enjoy the beauty of nature. It's fantastic. I don't want to just blow the absolute top of your head off of your skull right here, but I'm also a musician, and I have a lot of fun. I'm actually more than a musician. I'm pretty much a rock star. I'm the lead singer of Coach Mitchell Band. We are the greatest coach-led musical band in the world. We've had upwards to 30 to 40 people at a show before. I mean, it is one of the great bands in the world. I have to be honest. The first winning tool is honesty. So, I mean, it's a fantastic band, Coach Mitchell Band. In fact, this segment of the show is sponsored by CoachMitchellBand.com. Go to CoachMitchellBand.com for all of your corporate entertainment needs, or if you're getting married, or if your child's getting married and you want to have the most fun reception you've ever had in your life, you would hire the Coach Mitchell Band. That's CoachMitchellBand.com. But that's fun for me. We play 12, 14 times a year, and it's just a blast. And, we rehearse we rehearse a few times a year too, and I enjoy the rehearsals as much as the performance. I just love to be with the band and to play music and to have fun, and that fills my tank. And to go out and go to a party and people have fun and you can feel that energy. It is very, very nourishing to my life and to my leadership. And so, whatever that may be for you, cooking, reading, pickleball. Good Lord, how many people play pickleball now? I'm almost thinking that's like a cult status or something. These people get into pickleball. I've got a brother. My oldest brother, David, has gotten completely obsessed with pickleball. He walks around wearing pickleball outfits all the time. He's in constant pickleball mode, it seems like, but he loves it. I've got so many friends that love pickleball, whatever it may be, tennis, tiddlywinks, bridge, watching sports. I love to watch football. I love to watch baseball, basketball. I love to go to a sporting event, whatever it is. Here in Lexington, University of Kentucky's huge. People have huge tailgate parties, and they take the time out to have some fun and to get together with friends, and it fills your tank. And so that area of life. Now, here's one thing that I have learned, that all of these 5 areas you have to prepare. You have to go through a process of preparing your day, your week, your month, your year, where you are paying attention to all of those things. And so leisure is going to be a fraction of the time that I spend on the 4th area, my profession. For us to make a living, for us to provide the resources to live for our families, that's going to be usually the most time we have to spend is on that 4th area. That's going to be a large amount of time. But what I'm telling you is that when you prepare and you spend time on the other 4 areas, your spiritual life, your emotional life, your physical fitness, your physical world, and your leisure world, those 4 areas, if they are planned properly and you devote enough time to them consistently over time, your production in that area of professional life is going to multiply by many, many multiples. You're going to produce more. And let me tell you, those 4 areas outside of your professional life, when you do those well, you are going to be happy, you're going to be healthy, and you're going to be able to show up with a full tank, ready to execute, to produce, and to succeed. So I want you to think about that. We have ways to support you on that journey. Go to coachmatthewmitchell.com, and you can see all of our resources there, all of our offerings, all of our services. We are speaking, we are coaching, we are writing, and now we are producing the Coach Matthew Mitchell Show that I pray has added some value to your life. I hope you have been served well by this episode. I have enjoyed delivering it to you. I believe every word of it, even the part about the Coach Mitchell Band. I believe that. I believe we are the best coach-led band in the world. Now, I'm open for that being wrong if you can produce another one. I'm just saying, but to my knowledge, that's what I believe is true. And all of this other content that we talked about today, I hope help fill your tank a bit. And keep coming back. We've got some exciting guests on the way. I'm so excited to share some of my unbelievable network I've been able to be a part of over the last 30 years. I can't wait to share some of those people with you, and that'll be coming up soon. But I hope you will have a great rest of your day, a great week, and just be awesome until the next time we are back together on the Coach Matthew Mitchell Show. We'll see you here next time, everybody.